Story time on my senior drill sergeant. His name was Drill Sergeant Jackson when I went to A.I.T. So A.I.T is where you go after basic training. So after basic training, that is not all the training that you have to do. Basically, basic training is the physical training. A.I.T is when you go to learn about your job or your duty that you will be performing, your task that you will be assigned to while being in the military. So first off, when we first get there, they made us throw all of our snacks in the trash. So I had already Googled, looked at YouTube videos that in AIT, yes, you can have snacks. Now, not every drill sergeant allow you to have snacks. That's also why I say that drill sergeants do whatever they want, which causes different experiences for certain soldiers. Now, we first get there. First thing he say is put them all in the middle of the floor. Put them all in the middle of the floor. To fast forward and make that story short, we asked them for our snacks back when we graduated. They told us that they had ate them and demolished them that day. So basically took our snacks to harness and feed off of our energy. Now let's move the show along to number 2. Now, there was this time when senior drill sergeant was calling out names to collect their mail. And one of the girls, she was a pretty girl like me, always wore lip gloss, didn't really like to get her nails and hair dirty. And when she went up to get her mail, he kind of like gave it to her with attitude. We know how them light skinned dudes are that can't have you. The light skinned men that feel like because they light skinned they could just have anything that flunk to them. When they come across a brown skinned woman, and he also was short, so I was taller than him. You know how short men are. They're already intimidated. Don't let you be beautiful, tall, and got it going on, and you don't need no man for no money, and you're not selling yourself. Them men hate those kind. Like, those are the kind of men that literally want to date you just to break you. Hint, hint, Justin the Judas. Now let's move on, right? So when it came down to how he would behave one-on-one, it also would be different than how he would behave in front of other people. Now, there was this time where we went on a run, right? And when he got us to a certain point, he like took off like extremely fast. I'm a fast runner, but see, my thing is that if I run fast, it will have to be for a certain amount of time. If I have to run a long time, I'm going to focus more on striving, not more so of like, just get there, just get there, just get there. So when we had hit this park by this school, I remember like out the blue, he took off down these woods because he used to do stuff like this. Like when we would go out and exercise or perform ruck march, he would pull something mysterious at the end and say that was like his signature move. So he ended up running into the woods. We didn't know where he went. So literally, we ran the whole base. We got lost. And another drill sergeant from the other side of the base had to take us back to AIT. Like, he was just doing stuff like a kid. I was like, dude. And when we got back, did you not know that he tried to act like nothing had happened? It's just like a man who cheats on you, lies, break up with you, manipulates, and then show back up months, years, weeks, days later with no accountability, no apology, and trying to get back in your face. And then will get mad if you don't want to toot that ass up for them. Sir! Anyway, so moving the show along. There was this time when we had to go out for PT and time had went back. So basically it was dark outside now when we would go outside in the morning time. So we go out there, it's dark, and I remember him acting like that he couldn't see. Mind you, he's never had any issues with his view. Like, never had any issues with his view. And this particular morning, he just kept saying stuff to me. Like, just kept on, like, kept saying he couldn't see me, kept saying that I wasn't doing the exercises. Like, if you can't see me, how you know I'm not doing them? If you're turning that way, of course you're not going to see me and I'm behind you. But farther on within the AIT cycle, right? So I had went to my first sergeant because when we was in the field, Senior Drill Sergeant Jackson and my A.I.T instructor, I can't remember his name at the time, but he was a tall Mexican guy. Also, matter of fact, his name was Sergeant Ortiz. I do remember his fucking name because he was with a black woman with a big booty, so he thought that he was black as well. But with Senior Drill Sergeant Jackson, he was black and Mexican and short and light skinned. So he kind of thought he had it going on. He thought he was a Puerto Rican when he had that hair. Like, you couldn't tell him shit now. You couldn't tell him nothing. And he was a little handsome little thing, but dude, your attitude and you being in your pride and full of ego and in being intimidated, it makes you more ugly and it makes you shorter than you realize that you already are. But anyways, so ends up going to talk to First Sergeant because him and Senior Drill Sergeant Ortiz, right? Well, Sergeant Ortiz had came to me in the field. Sergeant Ortiz by themselves, just them two men by me while I'm by myself. Cause I'm in my tent. Literally comes to wake me up out of my tent. Took my battle buddy out. Told her to go somewhere else. So mind you, you're not supposed to go nowhere nowhere by yourself without a battle buddy. Why are two men having me in the field, in the woods, with nobody around, telling my partner to go somewhere else so they can have me by themselves? Exactly. And Sergeant Ortiz just went off. Like loud. Imagine having Shrek come to your door first thing when you wake up in the morning. It's gonna like throw you off. Like I'm just looking at him because number one, I never had a man like go off on me. Like I didn't get whoopings by men growing up in my family. Like of course I didn't have my real dad there. So the father roles that were in my life, my stepdad, my uncles, the fake adopted dad, none of them whooped me. None of them put their hands on me. Like they gave me everything that I wanted. And it was just like to come across a man who was being mean towards me, I was like, it's just because you can't hit this. You want this and you can't get it, and that's why you're mad. That's all it is. That's all it can be. Like, I don't even know you. I'm not even gonna see you after this in a few more weeks. I'm never gonna see you again, sir. And it was just like to the point to where I knew I had to go say something because I didn't trust that situation and I didn't know if they would ever try to pull something else again. And again, a man who don't like you because he can't I don't trust them, especially not by myself, because he will literally grape you and feel like that he took your power and he feel like that he took advantage of you. If you don't want to give yourself up, I'm gonna take it. And that's how those men are. So when I went to my first sergeant had a meeting with my senior drill sergeant. Y'all won't believe the news that my first sergeant come back and tell me. So basically he's like, this is what I'm gonna do, right? So he has me, him, the first sergeant, and my senior drill sergeant after this. And he brings in another senior drill sergeant. She's a woman from another platoon. And basically, he tells her that when I have an issue, I need to come to her. So he was not going to move my platoons. He was not going to switch me to a different platoon. First sergeant was like, I'm going to keep you in this platoon, right? But if you have an issue, you need to go talk to this senior drill sergeant, not senior drill sergeant Jackson. So basically, Senior Drill Sergeant Jackson had told First Sergeant that he was in love with me. Like, he didn't say like that, but he basically told First Sergeant that it was something romantically, or he threw hints at him that I liked him. He told First Sergeant something, and First Sergeant felt like we were in love. First Sergeant felt like we were like conflict of interest. I remember this time I had fainted in basic training. Mind you, in A.I.T, Senior Drill Sergeant Jackson was always mean to me. When I fainted, he like rushed to me and was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, and all the other trainees were like joking. They was like, see, we told you was the love of his life. The way he came over there to save you when he thought you was gone. Like, just joking around, right? But when First Sergeant told me that he had to basically like split us up and make us not talk to each other, I knew then that my suspicions of him wanting to was true. Let me also tell y'all another thing. So Senior Drill Sergeant Jackson, his words used to be like, I'm gonna dust your ass off, or I'm gonna fuck you up. He used to say one of them two things. And it was this time when we was downstairs and we was talking about combatives. So basically because of COVID, we did not do combatives in training. So he was saying like, he looked at me, he was like, yeah, you lucky we didn't have to do combatives because I would have took your ass upstairs and fucked you up. Now he said it just like that. I'm not sugarcoating it and I'm not lying. But if you ask me, that sounds like he wanted to hunch, don't it? He wanted to try to bend me over. He wanted this. That's all what it was. Basically, when First Sergeant was just like, you know what? I'm gonna have to basically separate y'all without making it too obvious. So I kept asking First Sergeant to tell me what Senior Drill Sergeant told him in the office, and he like wouldn't say. But he was just like, I think it's best that if you just deal with this Senior Drill Sergeant when you have an issue, so that way it's not like really conflict. So then I asked Drill Sergeant Jackson himself, I'm like, did you tell him that you like me? And he said, actually, I told him that I feel like you have a nasty attitude. I said, that tells me everything I need to know. Basically, First Sergeant saw exactly what I saw. A man who's like, you got a nasty attitude, only mad because he can't get your number. Only mad because you want to bend over and suck his penis. Only mad because he can't make that ass clap. That's why you got an attitude, because you stand on boundaries, because you respect yourself, because you're beautiful, because you're not an easy lick. But that's the story time on Senior Juror Sergeant Jackson.